There's a kind of silence that follows you. Not the peaceful kind. The kind that grows every time you're left off a list. The kind that teaches you how to carry yourself quieter just to take up less space. I've lived in that silence a long time, but this year it hit different. It was Christmas Eve and I was outside Aunt Carla's house standing on her brick porch with a tin of cinnamon brittle I'd stayed up late to make and a $10 bottle of red that I really couldn't afford but bought anyway because it felt wrong to show up empty-handed. The air smelled like pine mulch and cold brick. I could hear someone inside laughing. I think it was my cousin Danny, and the clink of glasses, silverware on porcelain, music humming under it all like some Norman Rockwell painting come to life. I stood there with hope thick in my chest. I thought maybe this year they'd remember. I rang the bell twice. She opened the door halfway, leaned against the frame, and looked at me like I was an unfamiliar face on the sidewalk. Then she said it. Just one line. "You weren't invited this year, Eli." No warmth, no pause. No chance to ask why. Just final, cold, like she'd rehearsed it. And then she was gone. The door clicked shut with that soft, decisive thunk that somehow hurts more than a slam. I stayed there a second longer than I should have. Like maybe someone would realize the mistake come running out. Tell me it was just a mix-up. That, of course, there was a chair with my name on it. But the porch stayed empty and I walked back down the path in slow motion. Brittle tins sweating in my hand. The drive didn't even register. 15 minutes later, I was sitting in my car under the flickering blue bulbs of a gas station off Oak and 7th. The windows fogged up around me. The brutal sat in the passenger seat like a cruel joke. My phone buzzed. "Ava, my sister. Where are you?" Dad's asking. And something in me cracked. I texted back. Aunt Carla said I wasn't invited. I left. 3 dots appeared then disappeared. That was it. Just me and the silence I knew too well until headlights cut across the lot. It was Dad's old SUV. He hadn't even parked straight, just swerved up next to me, engine still coughing. He jumped out coatless, boots crunching on salt. He banged on my window like a man looking for a fight. "Open up, Eli." I rolled it down, still half numb. He leaned in. "Why'd you leave?" I looked at him. "Because she told me to." I said I wasn't welcome. He froze. You could see the confusion hit first, then the fury. His breath puffed out in clouds. "We saved you the rosemary rolls. You were sitting next to Ava." I just shrugged. Guess I wasn't supposed to know that. He didn't argue. He just paced a few steps, hands on his hips, muttering something under his breath I couldn't hear. And then he stopped, looked at me, eyes sharp like I hadn't seen in years. "Get in. We're going back." I blinked. "Why?" He looked at me dead on. "Because I'm done pretending like this is okay." I followed. When we walked in, the heat hit me in the face, and not just from the fireplace. Every head turned, forks paused midair. Carla's smile dropped like she'd seen a ghost. Dad didn't wait. "Eli was turned away at the door tonight," he said, voice calm but cutting. "And I want to know who thought that was acceptable." Carla had the nerve to scoff. "Well, please. He never looks happy to be here." Dad didn't raise his voice. "He shows up every year. He brings gifts. He says thank you. He stays late to clean up. And every year you treat him like a stray dog at the window." The room went so quiet you could hear the fire crack. Then Mom stood. "Wait, he was here tonight." Ava crossed the room fast. "Carla, you didn't just forget, did you?" I didn't say anything. I just held out the brittle. A dumb, sweet, stupid tin of cracked sugar and cinnamon. A peace offering I never should have needed. Carla looked away. Uncle Ben stepped back from the carving station. "This isn't the time for drama." "It's exactly the time," Dad said, turning to the room. "You don't get to preach family values and then exile my son because he doesn't make small talk like the rest of you." Then he turned to me. "You can leave after dinner if you want, but tonight you're staying. You earned that seat 10 times over." He looked around the room. "And if that makes anyone uncomfortable, there's the damn door." Carla stormed out. No one followed. Dinner wasn't magical. The rolls were cold. My appetite barely showed up, but Ava passed me the carrots like nothing had happened. Mom poured me cider with shaking hands. And Dad, he sat next to me like a shield I didn't know I had. After dessert, he leaned over and said one thing. Next year, you don't wait on the porch. You knock once, then walk in. I didn't answer right away, but I believed him. That tin of brittle sat on the table half-eaten. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel like the charity case. I felt seen not as a guest but his.